Well, hi guys, welcome back. How are you all feeling? We're gonna be making meatballs with a marinara sauce. We are also going to be making ricotta cheese. Whoa. You're like, what? We're gonna make cheese? We're the worst cooks in America. You guys ready for your main dish challenge? So what to get started with? I'm going to render some pancetta. So I'm gonna take about half my pancetta. I'm going to slice it, sticks, dices. Things like pancetta and bacon, much easier to cut when they're cold. So I'm gonna kind of melt the fat out of there, and then I'm going to use that fat to saute my onions in. So I need onions for my sauce and for my meatballs. So what do you think? I just get cutting them all right now. Cutting and cooking them, and then I'm going to split some of them off, some for my meatballs and some for my sauce. Look at me multitasking and thinking ahead. All right, so look at, we have a nice pan full of fat. My pancetta is like a nice little golden brown. I have onions for both my meatballs and my sauce. I'm adding a pinch of crushed red pepper. So I have my onions on like a medium-high heat. I'm going to let these sweat until they're soft and translucent and very aromatic. In the meantime, I'm going to get my garlic ready. I'm gonna do about 5 cloves of garlic, and I want like nice big ones. You know, we're making meatballs and tomato sauce. You wanna feel a nice garlic presence in it. All right, so I'm gonna give this a little tiny bit more oil. If you don't have enough oil on here, things will just burn. What we're cooking out here is the water from our onion. When you cook water off, what stays in the pan is the flavor. So what you're doing is kind of concentrating the flavor. That right there is a chef facial, let me just tell you. All right, so this is what we call Italian flat leaf parsley. We just want the leaves of these guys. We don't want the stems. Hold all the stems like flowers. And then let's just give the leaves a shape. And I get it into the very smallest place that I can.
Okay.
All right, so look at what we got going on here. We can see these are sweaty. We're really on the road to something delicious. All right, so I'm going to take half of this out because if I put these screaming hot onions on top of the ground meat, it would sort of start to cook the meat and then it would not stick together. So we're just gonna let this cool off a little bit. We're going to bounce back over to here. We're going to build the sauce in this pan. Rinse that water out in there, get all the tomatoes. That's like a restaurant trick. So I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a pulse. I'm going to add my tomatoes. I'm gonna add a bunch of water to my sauce too. So, tomato sauce working. All right, now I'm ready to put my meatballs together. We have 3 different kinds of meat, veal, pork, and beef. Each one brings a different thing to the party. I'm gonna have 2 eggs, about a half a cup of breadcrumbs, my parsley. I'm going to start with about a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, onions, and garlic that are already ready already. Salt, water. Yes, you gotta put some moisture in there. The moisture is gonna cook out, so if I don't add any moisture in and it cooks out, then I'm gonna be left with a tough, dry ball. I'm just gonna cook my tester patty. I'm gonna go wash my hand and then we're gonna get tasting. Now, my tomato sauce, look, I brought it to a boil. I'm gonna reduce it to a simmer. Tomatoes are very, very sweet. So this is why you really need to taste them a lot because they take a lot of salt. So here we go, one more time, you guys. Go. You feel the garlic, you feel the onions here.
Wow.
Incredible.
Okay? Salt turns the volume up on the flavor. While I'm waiting for my tester patty, I'm going to get this stuff together for my ricotta. I'm going to put it on a burner and bring to boil. So I'm gonna taste this guy. I think I'm pretty good, but I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese and a little bit more salt. There's different schools of thought about this next step. There are some people that say fry them, which is a great way, but it takes a lot of time and it's really, really, really messy. What do you think I'm gonna do?
You're gonna
Oven
grill it.
I'm going to bake them in the oven on a really high temperature, like 500 degrees. So the protein firms up quickly and they start to brown a little bit. So I'm getting like a 2-for-1 deal and a clean kitchen. All right, so when we're making cheese, ricotta, basically what it is cooked milk and heavy cream, and then we are going to add some vinegar to this. And what that is going to do is gonna make the milk solids in here curdle. I am going to add a little bit of salt to this, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of vinegar. That's gonna make things coagulate. We're just kind of gently pulling this away from the sides, all right? And we're not trying to bust up the curds. We wanna keep those solid. My ricotta is draining. We are going to garnish our meatballs with dill pickles.
I
Right?
love pickles.
Right? Pickles and meatballs go together beautifully. When I have things that are like tomato saucy and that kind of stuff, I like to have a little bread to go with it. All right, I'm gonna go grab my meatballs. All right, guys, meatballs. I'm just gonna brush my bread with a little olive oil. Now I'm just gonna get my chives cut and then we are ready to plate. Just a raw garlic clove, rub right on there. All right, let's plate. All that yumminess, that's fluffy, warm ricotta. And put that right on top. Got some pickles. And we're going to finish up with some chives. What do you guys think?
Love it.
beautiful.
Oh, the pickle. Wow.
That's good.
Delicious. So good.
And it's just a plate of meatballs.